So back here at our homepage, I want to talk about now the basics of tweeting. And there are a number of things you need to learn here, although they're all pretty quick to learn, so it shouldn't take you all that long to get up and running. First of all, let's talk about the types of tweets that you can send. And the easiest way to go about that is looking right here at your home page. You have your timeline, which is the latest tweets from all the people that you follow. And I don't follow all that many people, so I'm going to see repeats of the same people as they send out more and more tweets. You can see, for example, this guy tweeted something 46 seconds ago, but he also tweeted something 5 minutes ago. There's no limit. Some people tweet non-stop. Other people just send out a tweet once a month. I tend to follow and engage with the more active Twitter users because I like to use Twitter every day. So you'll kind of find a balance that works for you. So the first kind of tweet you can send is just a general statement or just chatter, whatever you can just say what's on your mind and hope somebody hears it. If you're a marketer, then sometimes you might want to consider putting in, specific words that people are looking for. If it maybe helps you connect with people, if you're into, sports cars or something like that, you might want to mention the brand of your favorite sports car. So I could even just say something quick here like, really loving some of the videos I've been watching on YouTube today. Funny stuff. It's kind of generic, and people might ask me to provide an example, which I can go and find if I need to. And I'm going to talk about how that happens, how discussions happen with people. So I'll tweet that out. And what happens is that literally goes out into other people's timelines. So of the 9 people following me, they're going to see that show up in their timeline. Whether or not they actually see it is kind of hit and miss. If a lot of people follow hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of people, so my tweet is just one in a huge sea of Twitter messages going out there. So they may or may not see it. People searching for specific words might be more tuned to see it. If somebody's searching for anybody mentioning YouTube, as an example, I'll show up in that feed, that search feed for people looking for people talking about YouTube. And there's a few things that I like to do when I'm talking about tweeting straight up thoughts like this. One is you make a statement. The other is you can ask a question. And the question's a better way of tweeting if you want to start getting to know people and starting to meet people. So if you ask a question that somebody out there probably has an answer to, then you're inviting conversation, and that's going to kind of get us into step 2, which is at mentions. But first, let's talk about asking a question. Since I just tweeted about the videos I've been watching on YouTube, why don't we follow it up with, I would love to hear your suggestions about videos. Okay, and we tweet that out. And again, somebody might respond, somebody might not. It kind of just depends on how active my followers are and if they feel like talking to me. These kind of tweets may or may not get people talking to me. But you get the idea. You can send just a general statement or you can send a question. A question will warrant a response. Sometimes people will respond, other times people won't. That kind of brings us to section 2 here, which is at replies. And all you do when it comes to at replies is if you want to actually speak to one person in particular. For example, I might look at my feed here and see a statement somebody's made and either reply to that statement, ask them a question about what they said, ask them a question just about themselves. I don't have to ask them about the tweet they sent specifically. I could just ask them something in general. But I will receive at replies and I can send at replies. So let's look at an example of each one of these. First of all, if I click on the at mentions, this will show up any tweets that mention my name. So if somebody says, hey, at Funny Video Guru, what do you think of this video? It'll show up here. Again, this is a brand new account, so I don't have anybody talking to me yet, but I could have people talking to me if I go out and initiate that conversation. So let's see here if we can find somebody to talk to. So here's somebody talking about Michael Bublé. So what I can do is I can say, reply to that person directly. Now notice when I hit reply, it puts at and then their Twitter name. I can say, are you a big Bublé fan? And hit tweet, and that goes out into my Twitter feed, but also it will show up in the mentions column for that person. So when they see that, hey, somebody's mentioned my name, they'll see it came from me. I'm asking them a question. I might get a response. I might not. But that's a great way of getting followers as well. We talked about followers in the previous day, but if you start going out and engaging conversation with people, that's how you can also pick up followers. So we talked about sending general tweets. Now we're talking about sending at replies. Now the other thing here is retweets. If I click this button, you'll see retweets by others, retweets by me, and then any tweets that I sent out that have been retweeted. So let's go through all of these. First, retweets by others. A retweet is a repeat. So if I send out something really funny and other people want to tell all of their followers about how funny I am, they can basically hit the little retweet icon in their Twitter feed, and it will send out the exact same tweet I did, but it'll give me credit saying with a little RT and then at Funny Video Guru, and then the statement I made. And RT just stands for retweet. There's a strategy behind sending retweets. If you repeat other people's Twitter messages, then they'll kind of remember you as, hey, this is somebody who's helping spread my word and my name and help get me out there. They're boosting my network. So it's a good thing to do, especially if you like what somebody else had to say. Why not go ahead and retweet it? Now, retweets by me specifically, I don't have any yet, so we'll go and find one to retweet. We'll find something that we find interesting and we'll retweet it. And just before I do that, I just want to mention the last one here. My tweets retweeted, same idea. If I say something funny, somebody retweets it, it'll show up. So let's go back to the timeline and we'll look down here for something to retweet, something that looks interesting. Okay, so here's somebody with kind of a generic quote. Maintain your thoughts, it's positivity, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. It's positive. We want to be seen as a positive person. So I'm going to retweet that. It opens up a little window saying, hey, do you want to retweet this to your followers? And I'm going to say retweet. And then what you'll see is it adds this little green icon here saying that I've retweeted it. And I should be able also to refresh my timeline. And sorry, I actually have to go to my profile page here. And you'll see that in my own timeline of the tweets that I sent, it shows up at the top. So this is the latest thing that I've sent out to Twitter. I've retweeted somebody else's message. And again, great way of getting on that person's radar. That person might add me now because I've taken time to spread their word. And that's basically the way it goes with retweeting. Oh, and one other thing I should mention about retweeting is that as you go do things on the net, you might read blogs or see funny videos on YouTube or whatever. You can also tweet those out to Twitter, just sharing it with your followers. And in some cases, a blog will allow you to retweet the original person who created the content and then give a link to their content. So let's actually go find a blog where we can do that. So here we're on Mashable. We have this article here that Apple is now worth more than $300 billion. Wow. So let's tweet that out. That's pretty cool information. So now a lot of blogs will have this. You have this little tweet button. I'm sure you've seen it before. When you click on it, it's giving the headline, it's giving a link to the article, but then it's also saying via at Mashable Business and at Mashable. In some cases, this Twitter button will produce a RT at, meaning retweet at Mashable Business. So either way, it doesn't matter. We're giving credit to the actual Twitter owner who's creating this content. That's really the key here. So whether it's an at reply on its own or a retweet, it all works the same way. When we tweet that from the context of this blog, you can see your tweet has been posted to Twitter. View it on Twitter. It'll send us back to our Twitter account. And you can see here, there is my tweet. And if I go to my own profile to look at my timeline, my latest tweet is this one about Apple. And so those are the basics of sending tweets. Okay, so just to review, you have your general speaking tweets. You can ask questions, your at mentions where you're speaking to somebody particular, and then retweets. The only other one I'll just mention quickly, I don't use it all that often myself, but you can use it, is if you're following somebody and they're following you back, you can send direct messages to them. So I'm going to have to find one of my followers here, and so let's take this first person here. I can click this little button. Oops. I can click on their name. So I can go over here and click on them, click on this message button, and it'll send them a private message. Now, you can only send these direct private messages. They're called DMs for short sometimes. You can only send them if both people are following each other. So that's about it for sending tweets. It's going to take you a while to get used to all of it, but those are the basics, and now you can start building on it.